Neverwinter has just released its 31st expansion. This comes with a whole load of new gear, and ultimately I want to go through an upgrade guide from starting out in the game all the way to maximum, how you want to go through it step by step in the most efficient way possible. If you're not aware, this game is a vertical progression game, so you want to be getting gear to basically increase the power of your character, and every new expansion allows you to increase that power further and further to face more challenging enemies. This expansion comes with the new trial Shackles of Divinity. If this video's been out for 3 or 4 months, look out for a Module 32 video of the same type. I have made a full table linked in the video description below, and it goes through each of the steps, all 30 of them, and ultimately showing you the maximum possible item level you can obtain in the game right now. This character nearly has everything with just the companion gear and one artifact needed to be upgraded. Just be aware though, this is for getting item level to unlock new content. Each black bar here hits another milestone and also shows you the total amount of AD, which is Astral Diamonds, the primary game currency, that is necessary to reach that point. However, that's on the basis you went and got the Astral Diamonds right now and spent it all in one day. I do not recommend doing so. You can simply play the game and reduce these costs drastically. If you're completely new, the primary way to get Astral Diamonds is to do these random queues. They give you rough Astral Diamonds, of which you can refine 100,000 here every single day, and then you will spend it to get gear upgrades. Just be aware this guide does not go over how to optimize your character. You will have to look at certain builds and gear progression guides. I've made one for DPS, one for healers, and one for tanks. This goes step by step what kind of gear you should be getting from starting out till the end to optimize the actual stats and the effectiveness of your character. Look out for updates to these, as these are dated back to Module 29 expansion. This guide assumes you're trying to get as much item level as you can to unlock the next content. So we will begin at step 1. Well, step 0 is you start the game and you already gain a 5,000 item level boost. Step 1, it doesn't have to be exactly in this order, but the sooner you do it, the better. You need to join a guild. Ideally, that guild is level 20, and then when you go to your character sheet, boons, guild stronghold, you can activate an offense, defense, and utility boot. These give you 1,000 item level each and some significant bonuses. Then you want to, on step 2, follow through leveling up. I recommend this video to get through leveling nice and easy. If you skipped ahead by purchasing a character boost pack, you will get a lot of free stuff, but just keep in mind of these steps and potentially go back. But you ultimately want to go through these adventures, all of the leveling ones, and grab these rewards. They give you useful boosts, and ultimately you will also obtain these seals of adventure. You will get them simply by completing quests, and just check this guy regularly, and you can view your equipment for your class. Here you can spend that currency to get armor, weapons, shirt and pants, rings, and simply get what's desirable for you. Ideally, when you have a choice, you pick gear pieces that give you stats that contribute to dealing damage, particularly if you're a damage dealer. The first 5 main stats here are for dealing damage. The following 5 are for tanking, and the final 5 are more utility bonuses. You can read the tooltips, they do an alright job of explaining what they do. But once you're level 20, you can go to Undermountain. This is a simple adventure here, and will allow you to get some extra rewards, including companion gear. Then you want to start doing random queues. You will go to this section here, click random, and do the dungeon, skirmish, and trial queue every day as soon as you can. You need a certain item level requirement displayed right here. With the skirmish queue, most likely you can do it already after you've leveled up to 20. By completing these, you get the seals. At a seals merchant, you can spend seals of the dragon in order to obtain all of this gear. Simply buy some armor and shirt and pants and you gain item level boosts. Again, try and pick the ones based on what will give you the most amount of stats that you need. You may also want to do the Acquisitions Incorporated. This one will allow you to gain your first combat enchantment, and you will slot that in your enchantment section right here. Yes, it will starting out just be green. And for newer players, I would pick the Soul Shield. This will give you a free revive. You can start then doing your trial queue and your advanced dungeon queue, getting Seals of the Spider. You can see the amounts you obtain just here, and you will spend those also at a Seals merchant, getting all of these gear upgrades. At this point, you're nearly 35,000 item level, and I would jump to the new zone. You can already do that as soon as you hit level 20. You will go to the campaign Red Harvest. You will pick up the quest Harping On from Sergeant Knox, and you will end up in this zone just here. You will get scaled up, so you should still be able to comfortably beat enemies here with the correct power setup. Just check like my builds and what I recommend. You want to have multi-target when killing groups of enemies, particularly in these zones. Within this new area, you can get a lot of gear upgrades which will give you massive boosts. You can get rings, you can do heroic encounters, potentially getting them to drop, but you will more reliably purchase them just here. Again, try and go with the ones that are going to give you boosts to the stats you need. You're then going to get the weapons. Just keep in mind of the currencies that you need in order to purchase these. It's described in the tooltips, and you will also want to get weapons from this guy. These are decent starting out ones. Again, you will have to work on getting that currency and it'll take some time, and you'll get the Astral Diamonds just by doing your random queues. You will also want to get the shirt and pants. At the same merchant, you got the rings. They're all just down here. You'll also want to get the armor. And back at this guy, you'll also want to get the neck and the waist piece. You can get the artifact too, just leave it on green for now. We'll upgrade it later. But after getting all that new gear from this new area, you will now be above 50,000 item level. Well above that. But as soon as you have hit 50,000 item level, you want to always try every day to do your Reaper's Challenge. This will give you a daily bonus of a Reaper's Mark. These can be spent at this merchant for a lot of value. Getting upgrade tokens, getting particular mounts and companions, getting Insignia choice packs. And you can see the next steps reflect, and this store will help with that. You want to get 4 companion bonuses. Initially, you at least want them to be on purple. You can do events to get those companions, or you can simply buy them from the auction house. You're looking for companions to ultimately just give you these bonuses. This is useful for a tank and it would go in your utility slot. This one's useful for a damage dealer, would go in your offense slot. And you need to check your companion page right here, and you have 1 defense slot, 2 universal slots, 1 offense and 1 utility. Your goal is to populate those slots, and you should have 1 companion already from leveling through the Icespire peak, and this will go in defense or utility. You will eventually want to optimize and get good companion bonuses to put there depending on the build you're following, but they can be a lot more expensive. You can check my videos. I make a load of different ones on a ton of different classes, and each build will generally want a different set of companions. You will summon one of those epic companions that gives you a tiny item level boost, and then it's all about mounts. You want to be getting a legendary one. You can do events, get them for free, or you can simply purchase a legendary mount here. Their price shouldn't be too expensive. You can look through them, pick ones that give bonuses that you might find useful for you. But yes, it shouldn't cost too much. You will go to your current tab here and you will use its combat power and its crit bonus. As a damage dealer, I highly recommend the legendary giant toad from the Reaper store pack here. You also want to then buy 3 epic mounts. These should be super cheap, just don't buy ones you already have, and they are simply to go in your stable. You will then buy 5 epic collars. These are to go adjacent to the mounts in your stable. You can search Epic Collar Choice Pack, and these will generally be the cheapest. These choice packs will give you an option of all of the mount collars. You need to make sure to just take 1 of each type. 1 practical, 1 supportive, 1 unified, then like 1 wayfaring, and 1 sturdy. Upgrading them to like mythic is like a last priority, so just leave them at purple for now. Just make sure that the mounts next to the collar is of the quality or higher of the collar so you can actually make use of it. If this is a green mount, then I can't use the collar. That's why we purchased those 3 epic mounts before that. You then want to get a bunch of enchantments. You can start out by getting a bunch of green ones to put here. You will get a few already from having leveled up, and so we will buy 6 more. You can search them in the auction house here, go to the category offense, defense, utility, and as long as they're under 50,000 Astral Diamonds, it's worth to just purchase them here. If they're listed higher than that, you purchase them from this NPC. Then you want to get 2 mythic artifacts. You can get one from the new zone, like we mentioned earlier, the Assassin's Knife, and you want to get that upgraded. It will cost you about 1,000,000 Astral Diamonds to do so. I recommend watching this recent video where I go through how to upgrade one artifact as an example. It will be the exact same for the Assassin's Knife. You then also want to purchase a decent one for artifact calls. You can purchase it straight at Mythic already, circumventing the whole need for upgrading, like the Charm of the Serpent, Heart of the Black Dragon, Hallister's Blast Scepter, and you can see a list just here of the different very useful ones. You will use it as your primary artifact, and you will use it for artifact calls. So you cast your artifact, then you will cast your encounter powers, then your daily power, and then your mount power, followed by your encounter powers again, making use of bonuses like Tactician's Precision and Cavalry's Haste for the cooldown. All of these make it so the boss takes significantly more damage, and combined means you will do 2 to 3 times more damage on all your abilities within about 10 seconds. And so it can be very important. Another very important step is getting a Celestial Combat enchantment. These give you a huge boost with regards to their equip bonuses. As a damage dealer, you'll want the Lightning Flash, coming from the Menza Brands and Campaign store. Get your currencies, buy it just here, or buy it off the auction house. You will then need to upgrade it from green all the way to Celestial, and I recommend watching this video as it can be a little bit tricky and complicated, especially with the account-wide system. You will have to go through that rigmarole to go from, say, Mythic to Celestial. For tanks, you can generally just go with the Fortified Nature that you can get right here. You can even pick it as the one instead of the Soul Shield when doing your acquisitions incorporated. And as for your healers, you need to go to Adventures in Wildspace and simply get the Divine Aegis, which again you can just purchase from the auction house if you don't want to farm these currencies. Then you will need to get one mount upgraded to Mythic. This should be the mount you got at Legendary before this, and in order to upgrade it you need these upgrade tokens. In order to obtain those, you will generally obtain them through the trade bar store just here. It costs you 3 for 1 upgrade token. However, wait for a discount event upcoming in the calendar where you'll be able to spend just 2 trade bars per token. In order to get trade bars, you will generally obtain them through lockboxes. However, you need enchanted keys to open the normal lockboxes. The best way to get enchanted keys is by just having VIP and you get one free every day. Alternatively, you purchase Astral lockboxes. They do not need a key to open and don't buy them at higher price than 70,000. If you have rank 12 VIP, you can wait for an event where the Astral Lockbox returns for 1 week in the Wondrous Bazaar and you can purchase it for 60,000 Astral Diamonds. Those Astral Lockboxes, again, do not need a key to open and give you a ton of those trade bars that you need to get the upgrade tokens. And that's very simply how you will upgrade your mount. Then I would get 2 more mythic artifacts. This is mainly just for the item level, as you will use them in your secondary slots. You'll want to go to the Light of Xaraxis campaign. You'll get the Astral Seed Tendril. You can watch this video on all the details, and it's a super cheap one you can get maxed out. And for the second one, your options are like the Zealous Blast Scepter or the Spelljammer Detector. Both of these you can get from the auction house, but I wouldn't pay much more than 100,000 for them. But if you can get them at Mythic, you could spend maybe 1,000,000 for them. Alternatively, you go to the Mountain of Flame and you get the Searing Conduit of Magma. This one, when upgraded, gives a little bit more item level. After that, you should be about 75,000 item level, and you can go to the Mountain of Flame campaign. With this campaign, you should be able to then get new companion gear. You will look at what currencies you need and how to obtain it, and ultimately get this for a significant item level boost. Try again, go for the stats you need for your character. From there, you want to get Insignias. Get legendary ones. You can do your Reaper's Challenge to obtain one every 5 days. You can do events like the upcoming Jubilee. You will obtain tons through there, or you can rush it and purchase them. I wouldn't spend more than 150,000 on them though. You will put all of those in the slots of your mounts and you will ultimately want to be going for certain bonuses depending on your class. If you're a damage dealer, it is really important that you get a tactician's precision and potentially also a cavalry's haste. You can check my mount document below, which I should be updating very soon, that will have a list of which mounts you can go for that have those bonuses. But also try and get the insignias that give stats you need. Then you want to be getting celestial companions. You will have to go and either make the decision to upgrade the ones you're using or try and go for good companions based on a build. Like a damage dealer, you ideally need Minsk, Batiri, Neverwinter Knight, and the Tamed Raptor. But you will ultimately go and upgrade those companions by selecting them and then using generally companion upgrade tokens. In order to obtain those, you will go to your trade bar store. You will spend them right here to obtain those tokens. Again, ideally waiting for the trade bar discount event. And then to actually get those trade bars, opening lockboxes with like enchanted keys from VIP or getting astral lockboxes. The table shows how many you will need, about 81 astral lockboxes worth, to give enough trade bars for that many tokens to buy on a discount event. Your goal is to upgrade the companions that go in these 5 slots. That gives you item level, stat boosts, damage boosts, depending on what ones you're using. At this point, you're well above 85,000 item level. You should have optimized your build a bit beforehand, going for stats that are important for you. Again, you can check my builds. I've just put out, say, a rogue build. I'll be coming out with a wizard build pretty soon too, and the other classes eventually. I have older builds on those classes. You can look at the certain powers and setups and what stats to focus on with those, but the gear does change a bit over time. So yes, you will want to prepare yourself for the advanced trial Shackles of Divinity. This is the newest content, and you will most likely much easier find a group for this than any of the previous content. If you're on PC, you can type in this command into your chat window, and that will join you this custom channel. You can then use this channel in order to form groups and to join groups. There's already over 1,000 users within there. Everybody will generally go on private queue, so you only need 85,000 item level for this. It is not that particularly hard, but I would recommend learning some of the mechanics and otherwise trying to get a friendly group, ideally joining an alliance who will help you out. On PC, I'm in Wanted, part of the leadership here, not that I do that much because I'm generally too preoccupied, but they make a lot of groups. Just be friendly, they'll be nice to you, and they'll help you out as a newer player. This is on PC. Not on consoles, unfortunately. The game's not cross-server. So, within that new trial, you can get your hands on some new armor, rings, shirt and pants, and weapons. All of which you can see within the collections just here. A whole bunch of this armor can be particularly useful. You want to see what you obtain, whether that's good for you to replace what you're currently using. The weapons are okay for starting out as well. I would recommend, though, quickly going back to Wild Space, playing through the Imperial Citadel. This is the advanced dungeon, and getting like the Zoraxian weapons. Very good for tanks and healers, and also damage dealers when against one boss, which is a lot of the time in the new trial. On newer damage dealer builds, it can even be better to go back and get the perfect Lolth weapons, or you go to the Moon Dancer and get the Celerum weapons. But all of this will get you a lot better gear, decent item level boosts, and from there you'll want to optimize getting some reinforcement kits. These go in your armor slot and your accessory slots. You can craft them or you can buy them in the auction house. Minor item level boost, but a decent stat boost. Then you have celestial enchantments. This is a massive sink. Beforehand, yes, you'll just be using green enchantments along with that celestial combat enchantment, which is fine. These enchantments only just give you stats, and if you're running scaled content, then the item level doesn't matter. But this is going to be the massive brick wall you run into where you need a ton of resources to get these upgraded. You will primarily use coal motes for every single level, preserving these reagents. Coal motes are generally sold in the Zen Market supply section here. I would never purchase them like this. I would always wait for a sale where you can buy a bundle of 3 for like 500 Zen each. Otherwise, you can get coal motes through events. You can get them through invoking when you pray to your god every day, and you have these chests but the chance to obtain them is like going to be 1 every year, and that's per character, so not that feasible. It will just take a lot of time, and you can save up the Astral Diamonds and buy them off your auction house. Prices will vary. On PC, 600 is a good deal. I wouldn't spend much more than 750,000. Once you've done that big grind, you can jump already to master content. You can go to the Master new trial. It is a significant difficulty increase, so I would be aware of that. You want to have a good group, and it has a load of new gear here as well. All the mythic stuff, celestial stuff, new weapons, of which they are pretty terrible, so you won't generally use them, but if you want max item level, you would. Mythic shirt and pants, mythic rings, all of which you can use and gives you more item level boosts. After that, it's min-maxing. Maxing out your mount bolster. You might want to do that beforehand if you're a damage dealer, just to make sure you're making the most of, say, the combat power, which can hit for a ton. It just does cost quite a bit. You'll be wanting to get mythic insignias. Another thing that will cost a ton, each of these, just do it over time. You'll want to get mythic mounts with preferred insignia slots, and they'll be the 4-slot mounts, so you can have even more insignias. You'll want to get the rest of your companions to Celestial so that you have 10 of them, just so you gain this bolster, which is a minor item level boost. Definitely not important at all. I will actually change the order of some of these things. You can see the efficiency here. So yeah, I switched the steps around a little bit. And again, getting the Red Harvest companion gear from the new campaign, probably the first thing you would do, followed by getting your mounts and insignias. Yes, getting the 3 mythic artifacts can be a little bit more efficient for more item level, but these are very limited artifacts. Like Aragon was from the April Fool's event, Night Flame Sensor from a lockbox, and Crimson Calamity from a battle pass that's passed. You can no longer get it. So I would switch the order a little bit like this. Again, you can focus mounts before even jumping into master content, mixing and matching it with like celestial enchantments. Maybe you don't need to upgrade them all in order to actually get to 105,000 item level if you're also getting a bunch of mounts. You can get those mount tokens through more Astral lockboxes, and you can probably get a bunch of mounts for free via events. But yes, the rest of the steps are just min-maxing, and you end up with 130,000 item level, which you do not need in this game right now. You only need 105,000. Most definitely the last thing is the mythic collars, which costs you about 25 million to get them upgraded to mythic. And yes, you end up with a total cost of like 122 million, which does look a bit daunting, but you have to consider you can probably cut that cost to just 20 million by simply playing the game for a few months to maybe even a year. I would seriously though recommend to have VIP. You can get to a point in this game where you earn enough Astral Diamonds that you use the Zen exchange, you post them here, you wait about 9-10 months, and you will get that Zen. You get like 25,000 Zen when that happens if you post enough listings. And that 25,000 Zen can last you the entire year if you're not splurging it on things you don't need. I just use it to unlock new content when it comes out and buy 1 or 2 limited things that comes out in the Zen market. But yes, you seriously need to focus on optimizing your build after this. You can't just focus on item level. Again, have a look at my gear progression videos, of which I will be making updated versions, and that should also give you an understanding of what stats you need to focus on. Again, to make it very simple, it's like the first 5 stats are for damage dealers, the next one's for tanks, and the following ones are a mix, like without going healing for healers. But there are some other boosts here that can be important. You will also want consumables, like buff food gives a particularly big boost, and I did go over this video which has a list of most of them. But that's it, my upgrade guide for Red Harvest Module 31. Again, if this video is like 3-4 months old, expect a new update to come out, Module 32, and so look forward for a Module 32 version. I'll most likely update the video description and maybe put a pinned comment. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you guys around.